So I'm in rock bottom, self-isolated, financially broke, emotionally broken, two DUIs, girlfriend paying the bills, didn't understand anything about what it meant to be a leader. And so running up against myself, what I didn't realize is that I was exactly where I was supposed to be. Because in that moment, I realized that I needed something. I was at the point where I was done pretending like I had it all figured out. And I said, I need something. And that's where I got introduced to a community of men in LA, an entrepreneurs community that you're familiar with, called Metal.
At what point in your life did you say, okay, I got this and I'm going all in and I want to start a coaching program. I want to start mentoring people. I want to start challenging people. When did that come about for you? And tell us a little bit about your coaching program too. I'm curious about it.
Sure. Yeah. Um, so one thing I want to include about my parents and my upbringing is that I grew up in Washington, D.C. I'm the youngest of four. Technically, I'm the baby, even though I'm bigger than everybody else. I'm 6'8", you know. And I also did not have a great sense of who I was or what my gifts were. So I was very gifted, but didn't acknowledge myself, didn't see myself. So the only person who I believe when I was younger, when I was growing up, that didn't necessarily believe in me was me. So at least to the degree I wanted to. I played basketball, Division I basketball. I was team captain. You know, I achieved really extraordinary things throughout my life. I've been a signed songwriter on Universal Music Group. I wrote for 98 Degrees and Too Short, all types of stuff. I've done some really amazing things. I've been on TV, acted, television, commercials, all that kind of stuff. But my life didn't really transform until I hit rock bottom. And then when I hit rock bottom, I realized that all of the things that I quote unquote knew were not helping me to create a better quality of life. And so the place that I emerged in terms of like being a coach right now was from rock bottom, what I like to call like a rock bottom sandwich. And that rock bottom sandwich brought me up against the fact that I don't really give a shit, Sanyika, how much you think you know. You need to actually, there's some things that you need to learn on a deeper level. And one of the things that I did not embrace was the fact that I was not being guided by people who were performing at the level that I wanted to perform at. I'm going to say that again. People say that you're the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, right? So then what some people do is they go, oh, so this is what, so now I just got to look at the 5 people around me. And then I just basically say like, okay, well, I guess these are my 5 people to some degree. What that statement is meant to, for you to be in the evaluation of the quality of the people that you spend your time with, and to assess whether or not those individuals are helping you rise to the next level, and what the next level is for you. So if you have identified what the next level is, and the people that are surrounding you are not supporting or encouraging or even at that next level, then that means that you don't necessarily need to abandon those people, but it means that it's time to elevate the quality of your friends group. So I didn't have community, Daniel. And when I say community, I was isolated, self-isolated. So I'm in rock bottom, self-isolated, financially broke, emotionally broken, two DUIs, girlfriend paying the bills, didn't understand anything about what it meant to be a leader. And so running up against myself, what I didn't realize is that I was exactly where I was supposed to be. Because in that moment, I realized that I needed something. I was at the point where I was done pretending like I had it all figured out. And I said, I need something. And that's where I got introduced to a community of men in LA, an entrepreneurs community that you're familiar with, called Metal. And my first Metal meeting, Daniel, I went to Metal, which is about 130 entrepreneurs would meet at a theater in West LA every Saturday. And they would, basically, I was like some of the most successful people in entrepreneurship. So guys like Dave Asprey, Jim Quick, like a bunch of guys like that. Our friend Shane, and the thing about this journey is that what I realized, that I continue to realize more and more, is that the more and more I exposed myself to people, and that it made me think about my life. So I started to think about who I was, who I wasn't, how I was showing up, what I was doing effectively, what I was doing ineffectively, just everything that was happening and that wasn't happening in my world. And then I realized, I said, oh, you know what? I've got to change my life. So that was the spur that started it. So me, I'm a business and leadership mentor to men, but the first man that I had to lead in his life and his business was me. So I started to understand. That's when it took me on the journey. So first thing was, let me figure out who I am. Let me figure out what's happening inside of me. Let me figure out what it means to effectively navigate through some traumatic experience that I had in the past. Let me figure out what it means to understand who I am, meaning like my identity, reframing my past, getting reflection, understanding how to receive insight, feedback, all of those different things that inform who we are. So that informed that group. And by the way, that group of men was so powerful because here's another thing about it. It was the first group of men I had ever been in, meaning other than basketball, first group of only men, 130 guys every weekend, 600 plus members at the time, more than that now. Not only were they old men, they were older than me. The median age is probably like, at that time, was probably like 45 or 50. Then on top of that, they didn't look like me. I'm like one of like 5 to 10 black guys in the room. And then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, I was like, man, I'm the only, like, one of the only black guys in the room. And and I want you to listen to like with the thought process that was happening. I was like, man, I'm one of the only black guys in the room. Only black. I would say that internally. And I say, man, nobody here, looks like me or allows me to, at least to think that that this is the place where I belong. And then eventually I got to the point where I said, oh, I'm one of the only black guys in the room. Maybe that means that there's something for us to teach each other. Maybe there's something I can learn from them. Maybe there's something they can learn from me. And then that shifted the whole dynamic in terms of my presence there. And then I started to get more active and then more involved. I was starting to get involved in the community. And then when I started getting involved in the community, I started just giving and contributing and serving. I was like, how can I help? How can I help? How can I help? How can I serve? How can I serve? I'm the kind of dude, Daniel, like if you give me, like if I go over to your house, like if you turn around like for long enough, like I'm gonna clean your kitchen.
If you like this video and you want to watch another one, click right here.